sentences changed my life completely. Two very short sentences. And when you hear them, you'll understand that they can change your life too.
Men, this is your chance to strive for greatness, to be all you can be, to make your mark on history. Your chance to improve and sharpen yourself, to grapple with your weaknesses and turn them into strength. Welcome to the Manlihood Mancast with Josh Hatcher.
Hey fellas, grab your calendars because we've got an event coming up that you do not want to miss. So October 28th, which is a Saturday of 2023, from 5 o'clock to 8, we are going to relax and smash right on Manlihood Run in Bradford, Pennsylvania. It's an axe throwing place, and it's going to be our Manlihood Season 7 launch party. We are celebrating the fact that we've been running for 10 years. We're celebrating that this is the launch of our 7th season, and we're celebrating over 700,000 downloads, well on our way to 1 million downloads. So get pumped for a killer night with hanging out with the guys, good times, and axe throwing. It's going to be great. So the folks at Relax and Smash are giving us a fantastic deal. Normally it costs 15 or 20 bucks if you want to throw. They're going to let us do it for $5 a person. And there's going to be a food truck on hand as well. So if you want to throw some axes, grab some dinner, hang out with the guys, and have a good time, that's what we're going to be doing on October 28th. From 5 to 8 p.m. So, yeah, it's going to be great. Bring your friends, invite your neighbors. Let's go party in style so we can kick off this Season 7 of the Manlihood Mancast. Again, that's the Manlihood Mancast Season 7 launch party, and it's happening on October 28th, 2023, from 5 to 8 at Relax and Smash on Manlihood Run in Bradford, PA. Listen, even if you're from out of town, this is worth coming into town for because we're going to have a good time. So come join us and celebrate together. See you guys there.
This is the Manlihood Mancast.
Gentlemen, welcome to the Manlihood Mancast. I'm your host, Josh Hatcher, and I am so glad that we can do these preview episodes. We're going to call these part of season 6.75, maybe. This is leading up to our season 7 launch, which is coming up on the 10th. Okay? October 10th, 10/10/2023 is the launch of season 7. But I wanted to give these little preview episodes just to talk about a couple things and to make sure that you guys are getting content that's helpful to you as you level up as a man, as you embrace the kind of man that you want to be. And I thought for this episode, I'd just tell you a quick story. So I had a great dad. Some of you guys that are listening might have known my dad. He was such a good man. Everything that you would want a man to be honest with you. Maybe not perfect, but no man is. But he was tough. He was tough. Like, I watched him squat a refrigerator to get it lifted up on the front porch because me and my brother were too small to be able to help him lift it. And I watched him just wrap his arms around it in a bear hug, squat down, and lift it up waist high on his own. You know, I mean, he was tough. I've seen him do things no man should be able to do. But he was also tender. He did a really good job at modeling how to connect with how you feel, to be real, to be honest. And I have a lot of respect for the legacy that my father leaves behind. Honestly, it's a lot of why I do what I do at Manlihood, because even while he was alive, I wanted to make sure that I could take the things that he taught me and teach others. So that's really important. All my life, I heard the words, "I love you," a lot, and "I'm proud of you," a lot. And those words were very helpful to me growing up, not being the popular kid in school, in fact, being the target of a lot of bullying and being a kid that just didn't seem to fit in anywhere. I knew that I fit in with my dad. And I know, as I talk about this, some guys just kind of get ticked because their first impression of the word dad brings up a dad that was absent or wasn't the kind of dad my dad was. And I want to let you know, I'm really sorry that happened to you because it sucks. That's not the way it's supposed to be. But as I'm telling you the good things about my dad, it's important because I want you to know and understand that he left a model for all of us to follow. And I think it's important. So those words, those two sentences, I love you and I'm proud of you. When he was dying, he was diagnosed with cancer. He went through treatments and he was okay for a little while. And then about a year or so later, the cancer came back. And this time, it wasn't just in his throat, but it was actually in his vocal cords. There was a tumor. And they needed to go in and do a surgery to remove it. And when they did, they knew that they were taking out his voice box. And he wouldn't have the ability to speak. His voice was already pretty gravelly as it was. And before they took his voice box, he pulled me aside. Right before he went into surgery, I was up there with him, and he said, I love you. I'm proud of you. And I knew it's because he wanted the last thing that he said to me with his voice box to be those two sentences. So he went in, he had his voice box removed, and the surgery didn't go very well. There were a lot of complications afterward. I mean, the surgery seemed to go okay, but afterward, there was a lot of fluid that started filling up in his lungs. And he had a trach and had to do a lot of work with the trach to get, the fluid out of his lungs. And he had a feeding tube to be able to eat because he couldn't swallow. And it was a very difficult and a very painful process for him going through. But the last time that I really had a chance to have a conversation with him, they woke him up. And he was alert. And it was almost like he had missed weeks because they basically had to put him into a coma because they needed to use the ventilator to keep him breathing. And he's awake and he's alert, and he was kind of freaked out because he has no idea that he just missed like weeks. But as we're talking, as I got ready to leave, I wanted to leave him with Mom for a little while, so we had some time with her. Before I left, he put his finger on his trach so that he could force some air through his lips. He didn't have a voice box, so it came out like a whisper. And he said, I love you, and I'm proud of you. And a couple days later, they had to put him back in the coma because his lungs just could not fight the fluid, and he passed away. It means a lot to me that my dad wanted to echo those words. And since then, I say them often, and probably not as often as I should, to the people in my life. I love you, and I'm proud of you. And look, I'm the annoying friend that, like, if you're my dude friend, and we're buddies and we're hanging out, I'm going to give you a big old bear hug and maybe even a kiss on the forehead because I don't care. I am secure enough that it doesn't bother me to be affectionate with my bros, and to let you know I love you, man. And I don't say I'm proud of you enough. I think a lot of times when you're proud of your friend, it almost has that diminutive tone, like I'm your dad looking down on you and I'm so proud of you. But I know that's not what I mean by it. I mean, I could be looking at someone who is a hero to me and say, I'm proud of you. Like that, we need to have that mindset that when you see somebody doing something good, it should make you proud of them. And we should say it more.
This is the Manlihood Mancast.
So you guys know, if you've been listening to the Manlihood Mancast for the past 7 seasons, or 6 seasons leading into the 7th season, I always have been closing out my episodes by saying, I love you, I care about you, and I'll see you next time. And I got to thinking about it, and I decided that I'm going to make a change to that sign-off because I want to say these words. And I'm saying them from my heart. I really mean it. I love you. And I'm proud of you. And if you're listening to this, you're like, you don't even know me. I might not personally know you. But if I did know you, I would really feel that way. Because the truth is, you got out of bed this morning and you put your clothes on and you brushed your teeth and you started your day. A lot of people don't even do that much. And it might not be something massive, but for a lot of people, it is massive. I'm proud of you because you overcame the things that you overcame. And if we sat down around a table and I haven't met you yet and we talk, you can tell me those things that you overcame, those things that you've achieved, those things that you've accomplished. Dude, I am freaking proud of you. Really, I mean it. I would be if I knew you personally. And for those of you who are listening that I do know personally, I am proud of you. I look at your life, even those of you whose lives is a wreck right now. You know, maybe your marriage is a wreck and it's failing. Maybe your kids hate you and you don't have a good relationship with them. Maybe your job is falling apart, or you don't have a job and you can't find work. I get it. I do. I've been there. I've been in that place where I wasn't proud of myself. I need you to know that I see you. And I see how hard you're working. And I see that you're working on improving yourself. And I see that even though this is hard, and even though this is a wreck, and even though your life feels like it's falling apart, you have accomplished things. I want you to be real with your struggles, and I want you to fight hard against those. I want you to fight like hell. That's something we say here all the time. Fight like hell against those things that are holding you back. And I'm proud of you for staying in the fight. Do you know how many men don't? Do you know how many men give up? They either resign themselves on the inside and keep going through the motions and they're just dead inside, like an internal suicide, or they just end their life. A lot of men are ending their life. But you didn't. If you're thinking about it today, put it away. Go get some help. Reach out, because I'm proud of you for not doing it. I'm proud of you for staying alive. I'm proud of you for fighting. Dude, when life is coming at you and it's hitting you so hard and all those blows just keep coming, you're in that boxing ring and you're getting pummeled and the bell rings and you go sit down. You know what, dude? I want to be that trainer in your corner that's saying, dude, I'm proud of you. You fought like hell. And you didn't go down. I'm proud of you. And I love you. I know that sounds weird. I know that our culture doesn't like to say those three words. Get over it, guys, and start saying it to the people that you care about. Say, I love you. Say, I love you to your wife. Say, I love you to your kids so much that they get grossed out by it. When you see them and they're getting out of the car going to school, yell so that all the other kids know, I love you, so that they feel embarrassed by it because they need to know it. And your friend that is struggling and going through stuff that you've been through, he needs to know that you love him. Sometimes even the stranger who's never even heard those three words from somebody needs to hear it. Tell them. I'm telling you this every episode from now on out. When I'm closing it out, I'm going to say I love you and I'm proud of you. And I want those words to echo into your brain so much that you say them over and over again to the people in your life. Because we all need to hear it. You need to hear it. The people around you need to hear it. So let's make sure that we spread the love, that we spread the pride that we have for people, that joy that we celebrate in when they're doing something hard and they're succeeding, or even if they're failing, but they're still shooting through it and they're giving it their all. Let's be proud of them and let's love them. Anyway, guys, that are the two sentences that drastically changed my life. I'll never be the same. Not only because I heard it my whole life growing up, but I knew that my dad left that legacy for me. I know that he said those two sentences because he wanted me to know him and he wanted me to hear him. So to my kids that are listening, and their spouses and my grandkids, I love you and I am proud of you. To all my friends that I know personally that are listening, I love you and I'm proud of you. To my wife, I love you and I'm proud of you. And to everybody else out there that is basically a stranger to me in real life, but in the virtual space we've connected in one way or another, I mean it from the bottom of my heart when I say, I love you and I'm proud of you. And I'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Manlihood Mancast. If you want to be a better husband, father, leader, a better man, you need to join our private Facebook group, the Manlihood Man Cave. Join today. Please help us out with a like, comment, share, and subscribe. And check us out at manlihood.com.